Has the dust settled or has it kicked up a new storm? What a game that was on Monday, eh? Wow. Don't know where to start, but well, we're 9 points clear, same as we were on Sunday, so that's a decent start. But performance-wise, I think there was a lot missing the Celtic team, and I think there's probably reasons for that. Juranovic looked not like Juranovic, and I suspect there's a reason why he was on the bench, and that was he wasn't fit to play. But circumstances threw him on. Greg Taylor shouldn't have started. He had a knock against Hibs, and probably hope for the best. But we got out of it thanks to Cameron Carter-Vickers. Absolute fantastic performance. We've sort of stumbled across him. We're pleased to have him, etc., etc. But he's not getting the same acclaim as Virgil van Dijk. He is not Virgil van Dijk. He's not going to be the most expensive defender in the world in 2 or 3 years' time. But I think I'd prefer him going to Ibrox and Virgil van Dijk. Of course, Virgil was with Celtic when there was no games at Ibrox because that lot were down the lower divisions, toiling their way through. But lots and lots and lots to talk about. Refereeing entirely as predicted, and the reaction just as predictable. Instead of looking at the laws, somebody seemed to send out a memo for a Q&A for the international rules, blah blah blah. Just very convenient, pick out a few things that suit the story. But going into the match, Celtic had conceded 4 penalties this season, and the other team hadn't conceded any penalties. So when Starfelt slid in foolishly, but not making contact, we know what's coming. John Beaton points to the spot, and Willie Collum, on mute, doesn't dare say a thing. He knows it's not a penalty, but he's not going to upset his friends in the Lanarkshire Refereeing Association. 20 minutes later, up the other end, Starfelt has a shot. Whoa! Connor Golson. Well, I shouldn't have done that. It was more that than that. It was in front of him. And again, Beaton doesn't want to know, and Willie Collum doesn't want to know. So play on, then have a token break. Kid on as a consultation. Kid on the reviewing the incident, and then go on with it. But thankfully, we saw sense and got some of our more offensive players on. Perhaps Jota still hasn't recovered fully, wasn't ready for 90 minutes. But Jota led Tav a merry dance. How much fun was that? Almost as much fun as Maeda for the first goal. Jota led him a merry dance. Moy anticipated the run. Barisic kindly played him onside. Ryan Jack showed his strongman instincts. Giakoumakis batted him aside. Ball laid back to Kyogo. There it goes, in the back of the net, 2-2. 7 minutes of stoppage time, and he still couldn't find a goal. So we get out of it with a draw. Rarely can you go to Ibrox with Carter-Vickers, Hatate, McGregor, and that was about it. There wasn't too much more Celtic players on form, and McGregor was okay. It wasn't fantastic, but we got out of it. Thanks, Collum. He's got the leadership and the rest of it. The substitutes made a difference. Moy, I suspect, will be a starter against Kilmarnock and the starter for the next couple of games anyway. But the refereeing issues, very, very interesting. Instead of looking at them, instead of taking them on their merit, instead of looking at the fact that since VAR came in, we lost 2 penalties to Hearts, 1 to Dundee United, 1 to Ross County, then another one on Monday. Nobody wants to look at that. Conspiracy, paranoia. That's an easy deflection from the facts. We know what's going on. It's a levelling up tool. Celtic are effectively starting most matches -1, and that mob are starting most matches +1. And that's good for Sky Sports. It's good for Scottish football. They all get their commercial deals, and they can start counting down to the next Glasgow derby, 9th or 10th of April, depending on TV priorities. But the Celtic board have allowed this to happen. 2015, Stephen McLean got away with it, with Alan Muir on the behind the goal, additional assistant. That should have been called out. Stephen McLean should never have refereed another top flight match, should never have refereed another Premiership match. Instead, thanks to the cowardice of Peter Lowell, feared to push it through, feared to ask questions, McLean got the Scottish Cup final in 2016, and every aspiring referee saw the template. Give decisions against Celtic and you'll go to the top. It's happened many times. December 18, Beaton's game at Ibrox, Morelos was able to do anything he likes. After a couple of days of social media outrage, Celtic came up with quite a strong, heavy statement looking for explanations, looking to speak to Maxwell, looking to find out what's going on, make it public, and of course they did nothing to follow up. So when the pressure's on, Celtic will release a statement, or they'll whisper to one of their favourite journalists that they're asking questions and reading the Riot Act, blah, blah, blah. We all know they're doing nothing, absolutely nothing about it, because it suits them. Keeping the Glasgow Derby is a be-all and end-all for everyone who was on the Celtic board in 2012. And unfortunately, this is now 11 years further down the line. The support are suffering for it. There's no easy solution. Just got to call out the Celtic board at every opportunity. While the same faces are there, then nothing's going to change. The same situation is going to crop up. It's great controversy, excitement, blah, blah, blah. The reality is, if the laws were applied fairly, Celtic would be about 15, 18 points ahead at this minute, and that would be very good for the commercial side of Scottish football. So you just need to hope that Ange can put up with all this nonsense, hopefully can get the transfers done, hope they can bring the players in that he wants. Seems to be taking a bit of time to bring in somebody from Korea. I certainly hope that Giakoumakis stays. He is a fantastic forward. You can think of some of the, try to think the word here, some of the characters or some of the empty jerseys that we've had in the last 10 years as forwards. We've landed very lucky with Giakoumakis, and without him there wouldn't have been an equaliser. So Kyogo got the goal, but the 2 times we've wiped the floor with them, Giakoumakis has been playing, and it will not be a straightforward player trading model to sell him for 6-7 million, bring someone in for 3 million or 4 million, and they're as good as or better than Giakoumakis. But we trust Ange. He seems to have complete control, and we'll see what the weekend brings. But just look out for possibly a Celtic statement. But I suspect after whispering to the Daily Record that they've got concerns about it, etc., etc., looking for explanations, blah, blah, blah. Nothing further will happen. Hopefully the story will move on with Kilmarnock on Saturday, etc. But we've all been through the routine before. That's enough from me. It's time to get on with some work and count down till Saturday afternoon. See what joys. Nick Walsh, almost forgot. Nick Walsh taking charge of Celtic for the 4th time this season. He's been at Ibrox 4 times as well, and he had a Glasgow Derby at Celtic Park. So the Ibrox club have had Walsh 5 times, we've had him 4 times. I think it's 16 or 17 referees have refereed Premiership matches, but for some unknown reason, a PE teacher from Bearsden, working with the Murray Park Starlets, is a top man with SFA. If that doesn't get called out, then we've no hope. It's just going to continue as it was. So that's all for now. Happy New Year. Hail, hail.